Last time on Hellraiser, we reviewed the really shitty, judgy Jacob's Ladder knockoffs. I started to question my sanity with Inferno, and Hellseeker really needed more Ashley Lawrence. None of these were written as Hellraiser movies, and guess what? Neither are these pieces of trash we're reviewing today! Yeah! Hellraiser Deader and Hellworld. Complete creative bankruptcy.
Deader. This one has that delicious taste of Eurojank because it was cheaper to film in Eastern Europe than in Los Angeles. The majority of it takes place in Romania, where it was all shot, but the beginning and ending take place in London. Neither of the main characters have British accents.
Wait, who were the main characters? I genuinely don't remember.
One was like a journalist lady, and the other was, there was the guy who ran a sex club on a moving train. You can tell it's edgy because there's two girls making out. The most not hetero thing possible!
I could talk about how that's a complete betrayal of the queer subtext of Hellraiser and how the direct inspiration for this whole series was gay BDSM subclubs and how... I'm just tired. This movie makes me tired.
Okay, so this sleazy London newspaper gets a VHS tape of some weird cult killing a guy and then using a satanic ritual to bring him back to life. They send Baby Bowler here to go check it out for a hot scoop. After digging around for leads and finding the XXX box, she tracks down the cult leader and finds out he's the descendant of the French toy maker from the fourth movie. Does that mean he's the grown-up kid of the guy from the middle of the movie who saw his dad get decapitated? Or like, could he be that kid's cousin? I don't know, fuck you.
I like to imagine this guy's the really underwhelming cousin who always wants to be included in family activities, but even the BDSM sex demons who are bound to their family line couldn't be bothered to haunt him. And then he forces them to include him.
The cult call themselves Deaders because they're all reanimated corpses. This one has the worst title. The cult leader guy wants to get into the Cenobite dimension and become their new leader, but he thinks that only people who have experienced severe trauma can open it. So he and his cult buddies attack Reporter Girl number 2 and kill her, and then resurrect her. There's some weird, kinda cool body horror stuff with her being a reluctant immortal, but it feels like it belongs in a different movie. Then she relives her traumatic backstory involving her abusive father. After more hallucinations and boring double takes, she opens the box successfully and then gets the cult ripped apart by Pinhead. He's like, "Yo, I'm gonna take you to hell, girl. Dad's down there." And then she's like, and she kills herself and goes to heaven, and he's like, "Damn, there goes another one." Then it ends with Reporter Girl number 3 finding the box because sequel bait, fuck you.
This and the next one are the only sequels that we have really reliable information that they were in fact unrelated horror spec scripts that got buried in some executive's basement somewhere, with Pinhead just shoved in there for 2 or 3 shooting days.
Just imagine you're making some cheap-ass horror movie and like 30 days into shooting, the director goes, "Oh, wait, guys, hold on. This is a Hellraiser sequel now." And Doug Bradley walks up to film an extra 5 minutes of bullshit so you can slap the title on it. That happened many times to many people, apparently.
If I had a quarter for every single time there was a Hellraiser sequel that wasn't actually Hellraiser at first, I'd have like 3 to 4 quarters, which isn't much. But it's weird that it's happened more than once. I don't really have that much to say about this movie, except watching it made me feel dirty. Like, gross. And the CGI chains that kill the cultists at the end of the movie looked really shitty. There's absolutely nothing to recommend you watching this one. It may not be the worst, but it's the hardest to write about because neither of us remember anything that happened in it. It's that boring.
The video game won. We're at that point now. It's gotten that bad.
I can't wait. This one is almost so bad it's good. Or at least it's fun to watch with people who don't know what the twist is and to laugh at how much the movie is about to shit its pants in front of you.
So this movie is about a hot young group of gamers, trademark, that love to play the Hellraiser video game where Pinhead is the final boss or some shit. The game looks like boring dog shit, But according to the movie, it's the World of Warcraft killer and everyone loves it!
The movie begins with the suicide of one of the gamer's friends, and then after shitty fake-out jump scares at his funeral, the movie jumps forward like a year or something, I don't know, and the gamers are still playing the game, and they all get invited to this house party for gamers of the game that they all happen to be in driving distance of, even though it's an MMO.
Leave in my laugh. Leave in all of this.
Imagine, this is a real movie. Somebody got paid to direct this.
This is where the shit hits the fan, guys.
You may have noticed that two of the gamers are Superman and the voice of Teen Titans Cyborg. I like both of these actors a lot and wish they were given a better script, but nah! After they win the contest, they go to the hot gamer party, where naked girls dance around and there's booze and also special sex phones, made just so you can call people to have sex at the party or something.
You pick a tasty morsel, dial that number.
Sweet. Anonymous debauchery.
You said you wanted to have anonymous sex. This is the place.
I do want to have anonymous sex. I want to have anonymous sex. I want to have a sex party. I want I want the glory hole. I want all those things.
God, the person who wrote this has never been to a fucking gamer party ever before. All these guys should be sitting at CRT TVs playing Smash instead of smashing. This is a LAN party, Lance Henriksen. Not a Lance party. Stop laughing. This is all going in too, isn't it? Nobody at this party would have the bravery to fuck on a couch in front of 90 strangers. They're MMO players. They just sit awkwardly and talk about their Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Then they'd have brunch the next day with their parents.
I don't want to bang any of these people anyway. They're all paunchy and weird and old.
You can't tell under the mask.
I can absolutely tell. That guy's not even wearing a mask.
Well, he's got the right idea. This beak is interfering with my knowledge.
What are you doing?
The party's hosted by Lance Henriksen, who has proven between this and Aliens Colonial Marines that he'll be in anything. He was supposed to be in the original Hellraiser, but I guess this one was the script he just couldn't say no to. Gotta see those gamer titties.
Despite this being the gamer one, most of this movie is just hot 20-somethings wander around a house and get killed one by one. Oh, and Pinhead kills a couple of them in very not Pinhead ways. Like this one bit where Pinhead decapitates Cyborg, or was it Superman? I can't remember, with a meat cleaver. This that will never not be funny to me. Like, imagine the Prince of Hell, the Hell Priest, the King of Temptations, the man who shows you your deepest, darkest desires and drives you beyond the realm of possible sensations to feel more than you ever knew you could. It was reduced to decapitating horny teenagers after they
After a generic and forgettable slasher movie that completely forgets what every movie in this series was about, even the bad ones, we get to the glorious ending!
It's truly glorious.
Wait, hold on. Only a few of the people even drank this stuff. What? Are you telling me everyone's on hallucinogens right now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my fucking god. Everyone... What? What? Huh? But did the other ones get actually killed? What's happening? So what, like Lance Henriksen just like roofied all these teenagers in his attic? Is Lance Henriksen the dad of their friend who died of gameritis? And he's getting revenge on them for being a bad influence on his gamer son? Were they still alive? Those breathing tubes?
What is it?
Did you see that really shitty voiceover there?
What is it?
Yes!
Did he bury them after they were drugged and this whole time they've just been hallucinating that they were
Yes.
ghosts? What?
Sweet suffering.
What about the party? Was that real? Did he have all those people there?
You're not supposed to be asking questions, Xavier.
No one was decapitated with a meat cleaver
Yeah.
by Pinhead. Pinhead hasn't even been in this movie so
He
far.
hasn't.
I get it.
Now it's epic gamer time.
Somehow, the entire movie was actually a vivid, shared, drug-induced hallucination that all the gamers were having while being buried alive. Somehow, with Matrix logic, where if they die in the hallucination, they die in real life. They were all talking to each other on the sex cell phones from different coffins, and that's why they thought they were having conversations, and Lance Henriksen is actually the dad of the gamer who committed suicide. He blamed them for causing his son to lose his mind, and then decided to get revenge on them by luring them to his mansion. What the fuck?
Not only was the whole mansion sex party not real, but neither was Pinhead and the Cenobites. They weren't even in the movie until this point. And but wait, there's more! After the breeding pair of teenagers escaped from the Matrix coffins, turns out Lance also had the real triple Xbox just in his drawer, and he didn't, like, give it to the teenagers as revenge? He just had it, and once he did his revenge, he decided to solve it? Because he's bored now, and he's had revenge? And then Pinhead shows up and kills him, and Ghost Lance Henriksen haunts the car where the two breeding teenagers are driving away. And the movie ends.
So, technically this was an unrelated horror movie that just happened in the Hellraiser universe and had a brief cameo from Pinhead himself at the end. None of the characters in this movie were killed by him or Cenobites. There wasn't even any magic involved. Just some crazy nonsense hallucination that makes zero sense. I hate this one more than anything. It's an absolute clusterfuck train wreck. Creatively bankrupt is an understatement. This movie shouldn't exist. It's even more frustrating that this one has some likable people on the cast and just doesn't do anything interesting with them. I wanted Henry Cavill to be the main character, but instead he's some dude bro that gets killed like 40 minutes in. They didn't even show his dick in the sex scene! What the fuck?
Okay, I at least understand that last criticism. But the rest of the movie is so bad, so removed from anything Hellraiser, that all I could just do is laugh. Granted, I went into the film knowing the twist. I'd watched reviews of this movie already, so I was on board. I was ready for the rug to be pulled out from under us in the worst way possible. I was ready for the movie to shit itself. If you're willing to turn off your good taste for a couple hours, it might qualify as so bad it's good. Or at least if you have some friends to rip into it with, that might be fun.
I want this movie to go to hell and be ripped apart by chains for all eternity.